And we're back. Thanks for sitting at that break. I'm not sure how long it was. It might not have actually been a break at all because we're recording this in the past, but it's present for you, unless you're watching this in the future on a replay, in which case it's also the past for you, but a different past from ours. Although it's technically the present for us right now. Anyway,
And
so
time just
back to the
imploded.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely some Einsteinian physics going on there. Anyway, so yes, when last we left our heroes. So baths were occurring. Randy was learning a little bit, sharing a little bit with Finnan about performance, the art of performance, boosting the spirit and morale of one's friends. And Joel and Eric were up in the attic rummaging about in equipment. So, Joel, weapons. What's up there that's real? There are 2 glaives, not of the Krull variety, 3 long swords, 2 short swords, and a dagger that are all clearly real weapons. There are a number of sheaths and whatnot laying about as well, and a wide assortment of like fake weapons, stage swords. But those are the real weapons that are upstairs.
Are any of them properly scaled for a dwarf?
A short sword, dagger, those would be properly scaled for a dwarf. A dwarf can use a long sword. It's just more of a two-handed sword for them.
Okay. I will. Yeah, I'll take 2 of the short swords and a dagger.
Okay, so do you want to try to take sheaths that are roughly matching to those weapons so that they could be tied to a belt or something along those lines? Okay, there are quite a number of belts of quite a number of styles, so I am confident that you could find one that would fit you. All of the weapons were manufactured by the same individual, so they all bear that same mark of the craftsman on the weapon, and as a consequence, although no 2 weapons are absolutely identical, the 2 short swords are very similar to each other in terms of weight, feel, and balance.
Okay.
Okay.
But yes, I'll take 2 short swords, and I will have the dagger tucked small in the back.
Okay. Sounds good.
All in sheaths, presumably.
Yes, all in sheaths, presumably. All right, and so Eric, you are rooting around to find something that might make armor for you, right?
Yep.
Your biggest problem there is that you're a tall fellow and not of the halfling variety.
Correct.
And so you're going to run into a problem where any kind of armor that isn't meant to just drape over you is going to sort of need to be fitted to you to some degree. And really, the only real armor up here that isn't leather or less is the plate armor that Joel's wearing. Everything else is stage armor. So while you might be able to slap it on, it'll give you at best an armor class of 9, with the exception of a couple of suits of chainmail. And you could throw on one of these suits of chainmail that was built for a pretty big person, but it probably wouldn't cover as much of you as if it were specifically designed to cover someone of your height. So
midriff bearing chainmail.
Yeah, something like that. So this chainmail is all pretty long. So really, sometimes you have to tuck it up from your knees, right? But this would really cover maybe your groin at best. And so chainmail is typically AC 5 or 15 if you want to be a 3rd edition guy or whatever, 3rd edition or beyond. And so for you, it would be a little worse than that. So like AC 6 or AC 14. If you were thinking about ill-fitting chain, that's what you could get. Good news is you could conceivably throw something over this, like a cloak or a heavy tunic or whatever the case may be, and somewhat conceal the chain, although it's fairly heavy from a weight distribution, and it chink-chanks a bit when you move around. So your call there.
So yeah, I'll get some padding that I can put on under the chain, which is probably built into it, but maybe it's supposed to be a different garment that then the chainmail goes over.
Yep.
And yeah, I'll take a suit of chainmail, the one that I think fits me best.
There really is only one that fits you. So
it'll
be that one. It's a little rusty, but again, you're wearing it over what is effectively disposable tunics and whatnot, so it won't be the worst thing in the world. You will smell of metal to anyone up close to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm not going to put it on now because I got to take a bath first.
Mm-hmm. That's reasonable. But I wouldn't recommend bathing in that.
Right. I am going to grab it. Okay. What kind of armor does Joel have exactly?
Joel has plate mail.
Okay.
which is put on in parts, right? Like it's got a breastplate, it's got a rear breastplate, it's got greaves, it's got, name the 62 types of parts of plate mail here because I don't know them. But you got to sort of put them on over leather, over sort of like a padded armor style thing to wear it.
And that's like AC3, right?
Base without a shield is AC3. There are shields here. If anyone
Okay.
wanted one of those, that'll
I'm
bring
gonna
you
take
down
one
to
of those as
AC2
well.
if you're Joel. Okay, so do you want a kite shield, a round shield, a buckler? A lot of different stuff here.
How big is the kite shield?
It is for you what a normal medium shield would be for a regular sized 5'9", which is probably the average
All right.
height in the realms.
That's
person.
what I'm going to take then.
Okay, got it. It is. It's designed to be covered by fabric, so as to change the symbol on it each time that it's used. It's a real shield, so it's just bare wood on the opposite side.
Okay. So it's a wooden
tain't
shield.
Fancy at all, really? Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So that's
You going to take one of these, Joel?
Yeah, I think having a shield was probably also a good idea for me as well.
There is a
Right.
circular wooden metal shield that would be
Yeah, I was thinking a round shield would be
convenient with this armor.
okay.
Okay.
Okay. So just sort of note that on your, we'll use the phrase character sheets, but wherever it is you're putting down things that you want to consider to be equipment.
I'm taking notes, so we can always reconcile later on too.
As worst case scenario. All right, so good. You two also indicated that you had this desire to engage in a little bit of chit chat. So this is your moment.
There was some. Yeah, this is something I wanted to talk to Eric about.
Yeah.
So last night, after what happened with the thieves,
Like the worst night of my life. Yeah. Mhm.
you,
I remember.
yes, you said something that kind of concerned me.
Okay.
You said that you thought the sword had made you do it. So, and that's concerning. I mean, whether or not, I don't know if you were, freaked out and reaching for, an explanation. And if so, that's fine. But if the sword actually was pushing you to do it, does Vindicator do that? I don't remember Vindicator having opinions.
So I
I-
don't
I-
think so. I think
So
I was
that's-
being more metaphorical. I was
Okay.
talking about the power
Okay.
going to my head a bit.
Okay.
And-
All right. That's
I made an agreement with Helm, and Helm has expectations of me. Helm has
Mhm.
not, the God of Guardians has not laid out in writing what those expectations are.
okay.
And perhaps a little bit more communion would be a good idea.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think you really need you need rules of engagement. You need a hero's code of what
I do.
whether that's something you come up with yourself or talk with the group about, or even if it comes from Helm, if he's willing to get into the nitty gritty. But
Yeah,
Yeah, you,
I agree. I'm working on it. I have some ideas. One thing is I'm going to try to avoid killing people. I don't
that's
I didn't like doing it. I don't think I'd
Good.
like doing it anymore.
I mean, they gave you Helm gave you a sword. I mean, he didn't give you a net or a man catcher.
Or a shield.
Or a
or a-
shield. I mean, he
Or
gave
a
you a sword.
helm.
Yeah, he didn't give you the ability to cast hold person.
No.
Yeah,
There
so,
are techniques one can use to use
Mhm.
a sword defensively and incapacitate people with a sword without killing them. And I plan to try those things. A friend of mine, back where we're from, teaches sword play down in Tacoma. Well, I have never been to one of his classes. I've seen a lot of pictures, and we talked about it a lot. So I'm going to try and remember some things that he taught me. But this is partly why I want this. Hold up the shield. Anyway, but the sword I think will be most useful against undead creatures and other suitable monsters. Vampires particularly dislike this sword, so I'm going to count on you as well to help stop anything that comes at us. Hopefully without killing it. Although I see you got some swords there. Is that the kind of weapon you're looking for, or would something work
Yeah.
better for you?
It doesn't feel very dwarfy. So
No,
maybe
like you need a hammer or something, right?
a hammer or an axe probably would be ideal at some point. But
What if it
or
was a
really,
hammer on one side and an axe on the other?
that may be the dwarfiest weapon ever.
Yeah.
Or really, what I'd really like is a crossbow, because that's just, I mean, I have some training with hand-to-hand weapons, but I'm good. You know, what I've really spent most of my time working with is, you know, rifles and pistols, which, you know, the crossbow is the closest approximation I'm going to get here. So
Unless we come across a Gondian enclave, in
they're-
which
they're-
case we have more problems.
yeah, and the firearms in the realms are so dissimilar to what I'm used to working with. I think a crossbow is probably a closer fit, honestly.
And
So-
honestly, do we really know how firearms are going to work in this iteration? We don't.
I remember them, if I remember right, they blow up fairly often. So let's,
Yeah, that's a best
Yeah,
case scenario.
yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll
So,
keep our eyes
but-
out. But a crossbow. Okay.
Noted. There are decorative crossbows, which basically are crossbows, but the pull is way low, so you could fire a blunt thing that would pop off of someone for decorative purposes to demonstrate that you've shot them with something, but at the same time not do any real harm to them. If you restrung them, you might be able to make them deadly.
ah,
That might
Oh.
be useful to practice with for now.
and we can definitely incorporate those into the stage show.
Right.
Yes, that's true. All right, so you'll have that conversation. Rhiannon, who's actually downstairs from you all on the first floor in that bedroom in the tub, will complete her ablutions and inform you that, you know, she's ready for you guys to come down or whatever. So if you want to do that, you can reunite some portion of the party.
One other thing I did want to ask Eric, while
Yep.
it's just the two of us, the when you summon Vindicator, I believe the gems in your symbol went to gray, or were no longer. Or they changed somehow.
I might
I
have
was
used
wondering
up
what-
all the power left in it.
I'm wondering if any of them have come back overnight.
All right, so you will fluoresce the symbol, which still will glow, despite the fact that you seem to have drained it of its operating or special power. And no, it appears as though all the places on the trident, all the places on the hand that had spots that could glow with additional power are all missing or absent.
Possibly I pulled out all the power it was going to give me all at once.
Mhm.
Which is pretty powerful.
Which is, you know, may not have been a bad trade.
I guess we'll
But
see.
have we seen that, like, there was the gems that indicated uses, but was that just of Helm's power? But then, like, the Aminator circle might still gain give you a different kind of power, and the Asmodean fork might give you a different kind of power, or
Who's to
is that
say,
basically
really?
you? Yeah, who's to say? Okay.
So, all right.
You mean the B Dave symbol?
Yeah, the B Daves.
Yes.
Remember, that's the word. That's the name we're using.
Right.
Yes, you've come up with some kind of a
Regretfully.
clever whatever there. All right, so I'll put you for ease. Allie, you've finished your bath, changed, come
Yeah.
back upstairs. We're ready to swap off so that the lads can bathe, and I'll put you all sort of together. Finnan has, decided to go look for additional food because it's all gone now, but still hungry. So he's going to go look for Jamal and also swap some stories about Olive, who's a mutual friend of the two of them. So that puts you all alone together.
Have I
Well.
bathed? Do I still smell like shit?
If you want to, I can. And now you've bathed, so let's just do that.
Okay.
Yeah, that works. I think
I don't
it's
think
some...
I've ever been quite this scrubbed in my life, but I'm glad that it happened.
You're all pink.
Yeah.
for sure.
Now I can try on that armor.
Yeah, I think at that point, I think while the others, while we were swapping people around, I would have gone to pick out a weapon for myself.
Mhm.
Out a little bit that the dagger's gone, but I will take one of the long swords.
You
and-
can always just lift it from Joel.
And then I will try on the armor.
All right. Refresh my recollection. I want to say 5'9", but you tell me how tall you decided you wanted to be.
It was like around 5'8".
Okay, so the
Ish.
armor is for someone of your frame, which is extremely delicate at
Well-
this point. You're petite as a moon elf. However,
I
for
also-
someone a few inches shorter than you, so it's a little
Okay.
snug in spots because of the fact that it is a little bit shorter. But other than that, extremely comfortable. Soft leather but thick. It's designed for maximal flexibility. You wouldn't be shocked if this armor was enchanted somehow. Not that you can tell about those sorts of things.
Midriff bearing leather armor. Yeah.
Yep.
It's not as short as all that leather,
Not
but,
quite.
Eric rather, but still. You look damn good in it too.
I'm definitely noticing that and not minding that at all. Uh,
God, Zamara,
Uh,
must you?
Yes, there we go.
yeah, I will. I think at that point I will collect, the sword I picked and maybe like a sheath to go with it, and then I will rejoin the group.
All right, so you've
Wearing
armed
the
and
armor.
armored yourself. Eric, you're trying to do just that. Joel, you're sort of finishing out your kit. Randy, do you have any thoughts about what you want to wear?
Something I guess something fancy, perhaps with some ruffles. No, I don't know. Something.
If you want to try and dress like a noble, there's definitely costumes in here that would say, I'm a rich person. Even if up close you'd go,
I don't know about a rich person so much as a. I just. I want to look good.
I like that. I want to look good.
I want to look good.
Are you looking good fancy, or are you looking good sexy, or are you looking good both?
I want to look good, fancy.
Okay.
Uh,
Do you have some color schemes you're fond of?
yeah. And Eric, Joel, you can keep me honest here if like any colors might like represent something, but
Oh yeah, go
like
ahead.
like I don't know, like a crimson and gold kind of thing.
There is, at the risk of looking a tiny bit like a pirate king, an outfit
Yes.
in crimson and gold. Like, yes, I want
Which
to
I
look
don't
all
hate.
like a pirate king.
As long as it's not a
Yeah.
specific noble house.
That's not really a risk for Randy. That's a
Okay, got it. That is a
That's an
feature
opportunity
and
for
not a
Randy.
bug. Got it. Check. Well, there is an outfit that looks frighteningly like it might be designed for a stage pirate king. Here, there's even a hat that goes with it that has a rather impressive red crimson feather that trails off
Yeah.
beyond it. If that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, my goal is that I would be able to that it would work in my favor if I were trying to charm or charm someone, whether they be commoner or noble. Basically, something that kind of allows me to sort of move between those two worlds. And
This will do. It is not
Okay.
a perfect fit. So in other words, you'll have to, let me swap out this shirt with the one that goes with, and the vest is a little tight, so let me pop that button off, that kind of thing. But it would take a very close inspection to tell that it wasn't tailored.
okay,
There's a set of black high hard like riding boots that go with it. Do you have particularly tiny or particularly giant feet, Randy? Or are you kind of like a
Particularly
normal
giant.
size for your height?
I think probably it's slightly large and wide. I usually have to get wide.
All right, these boots are a
Shoes, so-
smidge tight on you, but they fit.
Okay.
but they look good.
Yeah, that they look good, and that's the key element. So you'll dude yourself up in this. You do look a bit like a scoundrel, just to let you know that.
Looks like a
Okay.
professional entertainer.
Yeah,
Well done, Rando. Yes, well done.
And in terms of weapons, I still had the throwing knives, and I have the K-bar, but having become a bard, and I don't know, maybe like hanging out with Finnan a little bit, if he's willing to train me. Is there do I feel a drawn towards a particular, like, do I have like a sense that I would do well with like a rapier or anything like that? I'm not.
I mean, not really. There's no specific
okay.
like you cannot, feeling that you're getting from any of the weapons.
Okay.
The rapiers are, like I said, sadly all decorative here.
Okay.
And so the closest
I'll
thing
just
to
stick
that
with
is
what I
probably
know.
a
Bendy.
longsword.
Yeah, I'll stick with what I know.
Okay.
And trust the
Yeah. We'll
the
have to keep
people
our
who
eyes open for some
other stuff.
actual ones at some point.
Correct.
Yeah. I'll be second line.
Gotcha. Fair enough. All right, so I have a general sense of what you've all done then. So again, now is the time where you either A, root around in the basement, or B, try to go out and about town and do your business. So you tell me.
Question.
Yes.
Rhiannon, did you decide you were sticking with kind of your original clothes, or are you trying on something else? Because I remember we were talking about that, but I don't remember what the decision was.
So everything's original except top. So shirt and some kind of overshirt. And
Okay.
not like aggressively noble, but not sort of peasanty either. So
Just clothes, not armor?
yes.
Okay.
I mean, unless one of you is gonna be like, hey, get some armor, but I don't see that it's useful.
Yeah, I don't see any particular armor unless you want to wear one of those suits of chainmail, but yeah, no. Okay. Cool.
I mean, with well, here. So I was going to ask the voice some stuff.
Go ahead.
So as everybody's like suiting up, there's a question. So I was going with the idea that armor wouldn't be that useful to me. Is that something you have an opinion on?
It will chuckle in your mind. It is better to use magic to cloak yourself in than it would be to try to strap on a suit of armor, particularly metal armor of any kind, which might interfere with the fine movements you will need to make to be able to do the things that I will teach you. Let us keep our eyes open.
Fair enough. Also, I was going to ask you real quick. Fire is great and all, but I'm also a fan of said shielding magic and any other sort of. People were saying it's not cantrips, but like small spells of utilitarian nature that I would be quite interested in.
You have the ability to wield the art. Anyone who has that capacity has it innate. However, your gift is fire, and fire is what I can teach you. If you wish to learn other things, any master of the art can teach those to you.
Okay, fair enough. I just have to find such a person and pay them with money we don't have. Yay.
Money is something that is always available to be had, as long as you're willing to get it.
I think the last clause, that's the pertinent one.
I understand. I observed what you did when it came to the clothing on the bushes when you first arrived. I grasped that there are certain things that you will and will not do.
Correct. I'm glad we have an understanding.
I'm glad the voice has been watching us since the beginning.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, well, okay, so this would be, what else? Where else would it be? Like, I didn't get struck by lightning, so of course it's been there all along.
Yeah, no,
Seems logical to me.
absolutely. Yay.
And on that note, so you're all together again.
Yep.
Yeah, I think at that point, I would have gone back down to wherever we're meeting, just kind of, and I'm enjoying myself at this point. I will not lie. So I'm just
why
kind of
wouldn't you?
reclined in a chair, my boots kicked up on something, just kind of like looking very, very, very pleased with myself.
Like the cat that ate the canary.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
All right. Is there anything else anyone wants to do before we go check out the basement?
Yes, the basement.
I've seen the
The
Evil Dead movies.
basement.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
Well, I mean, we certainly could. Hopefully that won't. I mean, I don't know. It's not like we're not on a massive schedule, are we?
I'm expecting this to be pretty quick. The
It is-
basement's
Yeah.
relatively small, isn't it?
It is
Yeah.
late morning, early afternoon because you got up late after sleeping in. You're putzing about, but this is midsummer, which makes it the longest day of the year.
Mhm.
Okay, so you'll approach Jamal and inform her that you're ready to explore her basement for hidden vampire entryways.
Yep.
Okay. You'll interrupt a conversation between her and Finnan, who are laughing and sharing wine like they're old friends. And she will say, well, come with me. I have the door to the basement barred because we haven't used it in some time. And Finnan will say, if you don't mind having me along, I've got a pretty keen eye. Anyone have a problem? with
Absolutely.
that? Okay.
Not at all.
Objections.
So we'll also go
For
to
the
join
mayor.
you. All right. So you'll go over to the entryway to the basement, which, if memory serves from your map of Briar House, is located near to the front wall along the right-hand side of the building. There's a set of stairs that I believe leads down into what must be the basement. And you'll note that there is a large bar and much garlic around this that Jamal will unbar and start moving out of the way, unless, of course, one of you wanted to be gallant and help her.
I will help her. This is good precaution.
Okay. So you'll do that, and she will then produce a key. Looks like a sort of black iron skeleton key. Turn a lock on the door. The door, which is a metal door, will creak open from disuse, and the darkened basement stairs will lie ahead of you. Your senses will immediately be bombarded with the smell of charred, burnt material. There was a rather substantial fire down there in that basement, and if you recall, she told you a story about how that fire was used to put sweet Sarissa, she referred to her, to rest, and as the only real way that they could use to kill her when she started to tear them all apart. So probably not a pretty place down there, just something to think about. Jamal will light an oil lamp that she is carrying and step out onto the stairs leading down into the basement. The oil lamp will throw out light in about a 20 or more foot radius, and you'll be able to see the stairs down into a large room with pillars about it, all stone, all probably support pillars supporting the house above, with that strong smell of burnt, charred material and a sooty layer sort of distributed all about, and some dirty wrecked things in various corners. But the basement is a fairly large room, so her light does not light it all the way up. She'll stop at the top of the stairs and wait for all of you.
I will go join her at the top of the stairs.
I think. Okay, so Amara and I should probably go first since we both have dark vision or infravision in this edition.
The light on will interfere with that.
Yeah, that would do that.
Right. I
Right.
was thinking that we might. Yes, I was thinking we might go down because we would be able to see further once we are outside the
Don't get
range of
ahead
the
of it.
lamp. Right.
Yeah.
Well, no, we do want to get ahead of it so we can see further out.
Okay.
So you
If I
can head
recall
down
correctly.
and scout for the rest of us.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Finnan will say,
And
if you need light, tell me and I can whistle some up.
yes, I think that's probably a good idea in case unless anyone objects.
He will place his hand on the symbol around his neck and literally whistle, like starting at a low pitch, going to a high pitch, going to a low pitch, going to a high pitch, and a glowing, like moonlight type light will appear over the center of the room, casting shadows but lighting its corners.
Oh.
Okay, so there's 2 rows of pillars down either side.
There are.
Okay, so I think Amara, if you want to take the right side, I'll take the left side, and we go out.
Sounds
Check
good.
either side. And if I remember my second edition dwarves correctly, I can be assessing whether or not the floors and the ceilings are safe as I go.
All right, I guess we'll find out when you're assessing them.
Yeah.
Jamal will say, if it's all right, I'll leave you to it. She'll pat her leg.
Of course.
Let me know
Thank
what you
you.
Of course.
find. as she walks away, taking the lamp that is no longer needed. And the basement is now yours to explore. I know that Allie's leading one side of the expedition, and Joel leading the other. Finnan is going down into the center of the room, sort of guiding his light about. What do the rest of you want to do?
Watch out for gelatinous cubes.
So check for glistening in the distance.
Yeah. Actually, no. What I'm going to do is say, if I need to use fire against something, I'll need folks to get out of the way of that. So if you come up against something that you can't take down yourselves, let me know so that I can not get you in the crossfire, because that will entirely happen.
Absolutely.
If you're between me and a monster. Just saying now. I apologize, but that's the facts.
Understood.
Okay.
I will produce Vindicator, but not light it up.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I will draw the sword that I procured, and then sort of start to slink down the one side.
Okay. And Joel, you're walking about, looking at things, tapping them where necessary.
Yep. Shield and short sword out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're
Keeping
ready.
eyes open.
You're ready for a fight in this basement, aren't you all?
Been sealed for a long time, and who knows?
You never know.
How many?
Randy, how about you?
I mean, I don't want to get my outfit all covered in soot and stuff. So,
Who would?
Priorities.
that's right. I'll come down on the steps or whatever, and sort of be ready to lend backup support as needed.
Sounds good. And I got what you're up to, Rhiannon, right? All right. You'll begin systematically searching the room. In a disappointing or non-disappointing, depending upon how you view this perspective, there's nothing bigger than insects alive down here. The basement's large. It's about the size of the house itself, which is maybe 100 by 60 or 80, so it's a pretty big space underneath there. It's probably at its tallest point about 15 feet from the floor of the basement, which is stone, to the ceiling of this room. It looks structurally sound. All those pillars are intact. Whatever fires were set here didn't damage the stone. They just burnt up all of the things in here that could burn. And there's what's left of them, wood, cloth, etc., in piles here and there. Most of it has been cooked to ash. So if you had to guess, that fire was probably magical. And you'll begin just sort of looking, using your senses and your eyes, for whatever here might be concealed from average vision. Now, sometimes DMs let players players make these rolls, but in this particular instance, I'm just going to make them myself. I know that some of you, because then you know when you find something or you know when you don't, I know that some of you have better chances than others to detect hidden and secret items. So I've got different dice to denote which of you I have doing the rolling. It takes about 10 minutes per section of the place to search. It's been 20 and you haven't found anything. Finnan, roaming around, has taken to whispering or to humming a ditty. He's quite good at whistling. It must have something to do with that colloquial name he's got. You're kind of bored, Randy, because you're just sitting up there, just observing these guys do the hard work. Whereas,
Well, I'm trying to learn. I'm studying the whistling that Finnan is doing,
there
and
you
kind
go.
of trying to memorize the tune.
Can you whistle, Randy? Okay. Fair enough. There's a line in there. Put your lips together and blow or something. But in any event, neither here nor there. So you're picking up on what he's using. In the 30th minute chunk of time, on the side of the basement that you're searching, Joel, you'll come across something. There's a section of the wall that just looks different. Like it's concealing something, maybe. Outer wall of the basement.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to inform anyone of that? Maybe call them over? Or do you want to try to figure this all out on your own before you bring in anyone else?
I'm gonna tap it a couple of times and see if does it sound hollow?
It's not so much that it's hollow as that it might be jointed. That could be a door.
Hey, Amara, I think I've got something over here. You want to come over here and take a look?
Yeah, just a second. I'll make my way over from where I was searching.
Is there anyone who isn't going over to take a look at this?
I remain on the stairs.
All right. So Randy,
remain where I
Randy at
was.
a discreet distance.
Yeah.
I'm just watching to see if
Something
anything
comes
comes
out.
at us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we watch our backs maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know what you're all up to. Finnan, who's a naturally curious sort, he's a halfling after all, will come wandering over, and he's got his back to the pillar, which is across from this space. You and Allie working together. Please roll 20-sided die.
All right.
16.
Oh, that's bad in this, isn't it? I got a nat 20.
You're having trouble figuring this thing out. You know there's like a doorway here. It looks like it's like maybe 4 by 2 wide, so pretty thin, not super high, and you can almost like trace along where you would figure, well, how the hell does anyone open this thing? Rhiannon, you have any insights for them while you're observing them?
I mean, so should I roll too?
I'm asking.
gotta, like-
I'm asking first, my archaeologist friend, if you have
Oh.
any insights for them before we have you roll. You seem to
I
know
see.
a lot about a lot of things, so I'm giving you a chance to shine.
Well, I may have to beg off on this one because the thing is that New World archaeology, I'm not in an area of the world where there is big monumental architecture,
Gotcha.
which is what this is. So there's not a lot of like stone built stuff that I'd be dealing with. And so like archaeology sort of like the wink and the nod is that like in any of these movies, never mind the like pit traps and the darts and the whatever, like the doors wouldn't work by now. Like they'd be welded shut by like moss.
Mhm.
So I mean the most that I would suggest is look on the floor, like try to clear away the debris. And see below sort of any kind of like general debris if there's worn spots from travel, because people's in like pure stone thresholds like wear down a lot just from people like walking on them in shoes, not even anything fancy. So if it is worn, then you have your sort of approach threshold like path that you're entering the door, or if there's somewhere in where the door would be swinging along the ground, you would probably have that kind of like path in it. But I would be more thinking that you would get the like dip from just like people walking.
Gotcha. All right. So armed with these fresh insights, you'll start poking about again. And Rhiannon, while you're examining the area, please roll a 20-sided die for me.
Not great. 15.
Okay. So Finnan has called his light over, which is now shining brightly on the area that you are all at. And taking in account Rhiannon's advice, Allie and Joel, if you could throw another 20-sided die for me.
Yeah.
4.
$19.
Excellent. You're looking at the first thing. Joel, you're looking
It's
at
at my
something
eye
else.
level.
Yep.
It's
Yes, you think that this door opens out because it's missing the scrape marks. You guys have cleared away the debris that Rhiannon was talking about. So there must be something that kind of, and you're looking, or hey, right over Finnan's left-hand shoulder, because also about 4 feet tall, right? And just sort of lounging near that pillar, there is a circular graven mark. You guys didn't pick it up at first, because a little worn away, etc., of a briar rose. Would you like to point that out to everyone?
guess it's done now.
No, that was a
Oh,
joke.
okay.
Ooh, shiny
I
red
don't know
button.
where it is. So
Yeah, that's why I said,
Okay.
would you like to point it out to everyone?
Yes. There's a mark over there on the wall. I wonder if that's connected to anything.
All right, so they'll all look in the direction of the mark on this pillar. It's about 4 feet off the ground. Yeah, that might be a poke it situation. Anyone feeling bold?
I'll poke it.
Okay, fair enough. Allie, feeling bold. All right, so you'll realize that, yes, this thing is meant to be depressed, but it requires some force. It's not a just put your finger against it. It's like put your thumbs and push. And it's probably, to Rhiannon's point, not well oiled. I mean, it's stone on stone to start with. And so you probably really need to lean into it. Maybe throw your body weight at it.
Okay. I will give that a try then.
Okay. So you'll do that, and yes, it will begin to slide, and two things will occur at once. One, behind you, where you've traced out the edges of what you believe to be the secret door, about 4 feet tall by about 2 feet wide, the stone will begin to grind. Oh God, it's loud. It seems like no one's opened this in a long bloody time. Outward a little bit, like it's like it was spring loaded and it went forward a couple of inches, right? So it's that horrible spring loaded noise plus the horrible stone grinding noise. And so it's going to require a person to give it a nice shove if you want it to get open. And also, somewhat unexpectedly, below the mark itself, a panel drops open facing you. That's not stone, it's iron with a stone facade on it. And now there is a panel open, which is stuffed full with some sort of wrapped up package. It's like a crimson, like, I don't know. There's something in there that's about like that big, and it's been stuffed into that thing and tied up.
Oh, can I? All right, try to stoop down and remove it. Oh.
Joel is attempting to stop you from engaging.
Well, okay, I'll stop. I'll stop.
Let's be meta about this. Let's be smart. Pull the dagger out and cut and try to cut the package open. Cut the string that's holding it shut, and then slice the package, and then unfold it so we can see what's inside.
Does that sound like something you're interested in, Allie, or?
That, yeah.
I mean, if you're that fast,
yeah, I would, I'd hands off, back up. I would let.
So
I'll also be like, oh, that's where that went.
So to be clear, Randy, despite the fact that they seem to have discovered goodies, you still would prefer to stay on those stairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And Eric.
I trust them to, if there's any goodies that they feel should be distributed to me, to distribute them.
Divvy them up appropriately. And
yes.
Eric, despite the fact that they've detected not one but two secret openings, you're still going to sort of post up in the middle of the room expecting danger coming from somewhere else.
I am kind of expecting that there might be some kind of trap or creature waiting for us here that might be awakened.
Why don't you roll a 20-sided die for me? Just, you know,
right.
In case.
Just because.
Sometimes it's
helpful,
right?
I missed, was it in a chest? Like, did you poke the chest and make sure it doesn't come to life?
Mimics, they're scourge.
You're thinking of using Elder's Blast. Okay, I rolled a 5 there.
All right, you feel as though you have solid situational awareness of the rest of this room. Okay, so Joel.
So yeah, I'll
You with your dagger, which is not super sharp, by the way. You're thinking to yourself, I gotta sharpen this thing. Will sever the leather cord, which was what was holding this quote-unquote package closed. And before you go to cut the package open, you'll just notice that this is actually probably a garment, maybe like a cloak of some kind or another, that a bunch of other things are wrapped up in. It was just really dirty. It's like a crimson color. But it's just covered with a bit of dirt and rock dust and that kind of stuff. But you flipped open the leather thong that was keeping it all bundled together. And so if you were to remove it from this alcove, the contents of it are likely to come out.
Still using not trying to cut anymore, but still using the dagger so I'm not touching it directly, I will try to open up the cloak so we can see what's inside.
It's kind of stuffied full in the sense that it's jammed into this space. You're probably not going to get most of it out. Open.
Yeah, I think yeah. Okay.
I got gloves on. Let's do this.
Okay. Randy's getting excited with a knife. Okay. Rhiannon, did you catch any of that?
Something about a cloak stuffed into an alcove.
Okay.
I mean,
So,
if
yes.
we were wanting to save the cloak, you don't just like grab it because it's
Yeah.
gonna like fall apart if it's too old. But if we want what's in it, then
Okay. So
Try to ease it out carefully.
you will do that. Now, I'll notice, with the exception of Eric, or I'll note, with the exception of Eric, who's keeping his best situational awareness around the room, no one cares that there's a couple inch open 4 foot by 2 foot secret door right behind
I
you
am
guys while you're playing with this. Just putting that out there for those of you who might be playing along at home. Okay, so in any event, you'll pull this thing out. The cloak's in actually pretty good shape. It's just dirty dusty, right? And it looks like it's a combination of wool lined with silk. It's a nice cloak. Looks like it's got a hood. It's substantial. And it's got a bundle of things inside it, which if you sort of just put it out onto the ground and start to open it up, you'll be able to see what you're looking at. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
Okay. The cloak has taken the brunt of the weathering, protecting the items inside it from sort of like further weathering. Wow, there's a pair of really nice leather boots in there. There appears to be some sort of a sheath for either a really tiny waist or something in black leather. Oh, no, that's not black leather. That's just really dark red. And a stiletto, I guess, for want of a better term, in that sheath, silvered, and probably has some sort of a treatment on it because it's like shiny and reflective. There is a pouch which looks like it contains a number of crystal vials in it, designed to hold these crystal vials sort of all at once. There are a couple of other belt pouches, both looking reasonably full, one black, one red, and I believe, oh yes, there is a mask rolled up, leather, again red leather, but you can tell from sort of like the tie it around the back of the head parts that's what it is, that is also laying atop the bundle. So you're looking at couple of pouches, black and red, a potion belt, a cloak, a mask, a set of really nice boots, and that stiletto in a sheath that's designed to be strapped to. Maybe that's meant for a thigh.
I'm definitely going to take a closer look at the stiletto.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah,
out.
yeah.
You know what?
It's
So-
like the Robin
It's fine.
to Shadowbane's Batman. in a
I
sense,
want
right?
to like problem solve here.
Yes. Problem
Um,
solved for us, Rhiannon.
So first off, second edition knowing people. Detect magic, was that like a particularly high level spell at the time?
First level.
First
spell.
level.
Okay.
If you're
so-
asking me, Lass, is this out loud? We're out loud with that. If you're asking me, Lass, can I tell you if any of these items are enchanted? The answer would be yes. That's finished.
Well, I was
I
gonna
have
try
a
to do it
5%
myself. Now
chance.
I'm a little disappointed
Right.
I like that.
Randy can do this.
now.
Right, we have bards.
I have a whopping 5% chance. Yes.
What you'd be able to do, Randonius, is tell us a bit about the items if you knew something about them. It
Yeah.
gives you that kind of information, not just whether or
Right.
not they're magical or not magical. Was
Right.
that not
Okay.
what you were asking me, Lass? I didn't mean to jump in.
I was hoping maybe I could do it, but knowing the information is what I was trying to get to anyway. So
Okay. So, do you want me to? That's it.
yes, please.
Okay. He will place his hand upon the holy symbol about his neck and again whistle a little tune.
I'm gonna put my hand on the sigil
Mhm.
and see if I can like get any sense of what he's doing. Like obviously it's bard magic, so I'm not gonna be whistling and doing anything. But like, can I
roll a
feel
roll a
something?
20-sided die, Rhiannon.
Okay,
You may have a different insight.
that's a 7.
Okay. Probably more likely than not, it is not bard magic because he's placing
Oh.
his hand on a holy symbol.
Oh, okay.
So what he's doing is probably clerical magic, for what it's worth. You'll deduce that when you realize that he's always.
Clerical magic.
You'll realize that he's always relying on that symbol to get things done.
Okay. I mean, it still doesn't help me.
Yes, still doesn't help you. And the mark is conspicuously silent about this subject, not giving you any insights. Okay. All right, so returning. He'll complete that little whistle, and he'll say, and he'll end it with a whistle to say, oh, it would appear as though quite a number of things here are magical, including some things inside those that pouch, the red one. He'll point. At least 2 items. Oh, 3. So, Allie, you were looking at the stiletto. Is Allie the only one who's touching the treasure?
I mean,
I mean,
obviously, Allie is the one grabbing the stiletto.
I mean, this all seems like thief kind of stuff for the most part.
Thief kind
I
of
mean,
Yeah,
it
stuff.
seems like a
very
thief's
thiefy gear.
equipment. I mean, the mask, if nothing else.
I mean,
Is it a
night
night
masks
mask?
are yeah.
Yeah.
Are black.
This
Right?
is a crimson silk mask, if someone wants to pick it up and untie it, while Allie is playing with the stiletto. Does someone want to pick it up and untie it?
I will.
Yes.
Sure.
If I weren't already,
I have never seen a group
stiletto, I
of
will.
players so shy about touching treasure before.
I've been
Joel
like,
will do it.
I'm
my
doing
natural
just like,
curiosity
rubbing hands
and-
over everything.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'll
my
take
natural
it.
curiosity and flashes
There's
of
a-
crimson have made me like slowly like been creeping forward, trying to
Towards
get a
the
better look.
location, yeah.
Better look.
Oh, what
They
have we
go
got
with your
here?
outfit,
What's sitting in
Randonius.
this little area? Okay, so you've pulled out the stiletto, right? The
Yeah.
stiletto, and it's definitely a thigh sheath. That stiletto is designed to be used with to conceal it, like under a dress or skirts or something like that. It is both silvered and appears so like the blade is probably not silver unless it's enchanted silver. It is enchanted. He'll tell you that, but it may not. It may be silver enchanted to not bend when used as a weapon, or it may just be a silvered steel blade. But it is definitely silvered, and it has definitely been treated with something. Give me a moment and I'll read you a description of what the treatment looks like.
Okay.
Okay. It has an enduring bright shine akin to chromium.
Okay.
Those of you who know anything about that sort of thing can, regale us all with your knowledge in a moment. It is well balanced in the hand. It is clearly designed for concealment and stabbing rather than open fighting. And it was meant to be worn around a lady's thigh. It is, as I said, a red, dyed red leather, like dark crimson, so much so that you almost thought it was black, red leather sheath for that thing. It has, on the portion where the hilt meets the tang, or whatever the thing across the top of the weapon would be, which is very small because it's designed for easy concealment.
Yeah.
A rose, a briar rose, put by a craftsman upon it, very similar to the one that you saw on the spot that you were that you had to lean your hands into in order to get this thing to open. You're guessing that whoever put that there is probably whoever put this package of things here is probably connected to that in some way, shape, or form. Joel, you were unwrapping a mask. Am I correct?
I was looking at the mask.
It is silk, again, crimson silk, very delicate, but with leather ties that you use to tie it across the back of your head. It is featureless, with the exception of the fact that it has holes for eyes and a mouth. Other than that, it's not quite a hood. It's a mask.
Full face mask, not a domino.
Not a domino mask, whole face mask. It is also enchanted, Finnan will tell you.
Put it on. See what happens.
Rhiannon
put
is,
it on.
put it on, see what happens. Okay. You'll place the mask on your face and tie it off, right? Yes? Is that correct, Joel?
Oh,
You don't have
I
to.
thought Rhiannon was doing it.
You, Rhiannon. I saw Rhiannon saying to Joel, put it on.
Yeah,
Not-
no. I mean, if you hand it to me, then I mean, okay.
I mean, if it
So-
goes with my outfit, I'd wear it too.
So who's it going to be? Let's decide.
Oh, what the heck? There's a chance cursed items don't impact me. Sure, I'll put it on and see what happens.
Okay. You will experience a brief moment of panic as this thing seems to form fit to you, like it's becoming one with your face. So you will have a brief moment of panic. Please roll a 20-sided die. Please roll a 20-sided die.
Oh. 4.
Okay. You'll see him have a brief moment of panic as the thing sort of like, have you ever seen something vacuum seal, right? And it sort of like sucks on, like basically just sort of gloms onto his face. And Finnan will put a hand on you and say, breathe, lad, breathe. And it's gone. It's on. You can feel it, but nobody else can see it.
Where'd it go?
Okay. Can I feel it?
Yeah, you can
Wait,
feel it,
It's
but you can't, like everyone else looking at you just sees you touching your face.
Okay, I have no
Where'd it
idea what
go?
this does.
This is Finnan.
Wait, what?
Masks. Try to think to it, lad.
Think
Hello?
about looking like somebody else. Like imagine like another face, or look at Elric, and like imagine his face.
Or that could work, Finnan will say.
Sure. I'll look at Eric and think of
Okay,
his
so that
face.
is creepy as hell, because what just happened is Joel's face rearranged itself, and now there are two Erics. One standing from a little dwarven body. You'll
Mini
feel
me.
that, like, move itself across your face, Joel. It is creepy. It is creepy. But everybody else just sees your face sort of transform into Eric's face. Looks exactly like Eric looks right now. You're looking at Eric. Eric, you're looking at yourself.
Yep.
But I have no idea what's going on because I can't see myself.
I mean, you felt it
Like,
do
I just
something.
felt something weird
Oh,
happen.
you'll see the expression on Eric's
So,
face and everyone else's.
What just happened?
Yeah,
Hey,
you look like Eric now.
You know what else it does? Sounds like Eric too.
Whoa.
Say
I
something
am.
else.
This is my expression, like in character.
Okay.
I am just like,
Finnan will whistle. Wow. I think that's a mask of disguise. Those are quite rare. Usually you're not supposed to be able to resemble a specific individual.
I think we
That's
found the
true.
cache of the belongings of some kind of master thief, I guess,
Or a vigilante.
That's my
or
guess.
something.
We got
I
the same one
remember-
who had that armor.
What
Okay.
Elric, Felavaris,
Yes.
Briar Rose? Eh?
We're
You may
What's
have
that?
discovered evidence of Thistle's mother's secret life, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
which might, if she is, yes, if they are in trouble, it might be connected to this.
Can you take the mask off?
That's what I was gonna do right now.
He does, and you have to peel it off your face. Like, you got to pull on it. So there'll be another brief moment of panic, but it will come loose. And now it's just a silk mask in your hand.
Okay.
I mean, does
So
it come
cool.
off with blood and then it turns into a monster? It's fine. It's
No,
fine.
okay.
I like that.
Okay.
You're
No,
good, buddy.
no,
You're good.
Elric.
We're good. We're good.
Okay.
All right. It could be a mimic.
Okay.
Who knows?
Okay, so since it didn't change my height, this is going to be most useful for the person. Okay, so who wears this is going to will need to be the same body type as whoever they're impersonating.
Yeah.
But if we are looking to have a faithless vigilante, this is probably going to be, or if someone wants to go out and not be recognized after doing certain feats of daring do, they should probably be wearing this.
Oh boy.
I kind of like hold it up between
Oh.
Eric and Allie and see. Either you guys want to hold on to this?
I'll
Okay.
take it.
All right,
I'll
so they
hold on to
both,
it for now.
they both grab it.
All right.
And Allie gets their heartbeat first, or first, because, higher decks. So
What
there you go.
gives, Stiletto Girl?
What?
You got Vindicator. Come on.
It's true.
Yeah, you did get Vindicator.
Is that
Besides,
always
like,
going to be
there's
your
always-
excuse?
All right, so-
Probably.
There are a
So,
number of other items there. Randy is looking at
There
them.
are. We should
I
find
mean,
out what's in
Ran-
that.
Randy, if you want to look through one pouch, I'll look through the other pouch.
Sure.
Red?
You want the crimson or the black
Yes,
pouch?
there we go.
I'll take black.
Okay.
All right. So who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Okay. The black pouch feels like it's filled with metal, jangly objects. If you had to guess, this is probably coin.
Oh.
You'll undo
Oh.
the pouch. You'll look
I was thinking
inside
caltrops.
it, and you'll say,
I was
and you'll
thinking
see
caltrops.
that yes, this is in fact coin. And it looks like it's bursting full with it, and you can sort of spot the glints of gold and silver. It's probably equal parts that, plus there's this other material. Is that platinum?
Wow. Whoa.
Well, I think now we know. Now we have enough to properly outfit ourselves.
Yeah, I think it's good that the responsible person has the coin person.
That's probably a good idea. Look, I want
I mean,
one thing. That's all I want.
If I'm going to be a target for like thieves, just y'all better defend me, is what I'm saying. Like, because if somebody comes up to me in a dark alley, I can't stop them from taking it, but I can also stop you from buying like gold-plated armor and stuff. So,
Are you interested in the exact count of the coins in there, or is that something you'll deduce at a later time?
I mean, I would think I would step aside and like find a clear patch of ground and like start doing the whole thing, like separate by material and then
Gotcha.
make stacks of 5 or 10, like
Okay, so you will do
Precise
just
accounting.
that, and we'll
Yeah.
Go
come
do the
back to you.
full archaeologist thing.
Yeah. We'll come back to you doing so in a moment. All right, Randy, you meanwhile are palming this crimson leather pouch. It has an assortment of objects in it, which some of which are clanking together, but that are not of sort of a uniform size. And when you open it up, you will see inside it a brooch, a couple of pieces of jewelry. Maybe those are rings, and an assortment of. Are those gems?
Okay.
So what do you want to do?
I'll study the brooch. Does it have symbol on it? Does
So
it have?
you'll pluck the brooch free. Yes, it's platinum. It's a platinum brooch. It has at its heart a ruby about the size of a 20-sided die. And it is the platinum brooch portion of it is a briar rose, where the ruby at the heart of it is the bud of the briar rose. It has a pin as though it is meant to be worn on a person. Finn will indicate to you, that's magical, lad. And not only is it magical, it's magical twice. The pin and the gem would appear to do two different things.
I'll turn to the group and say, if we are going to be trying to gain the trust and favor of Lady Thistle, this might, being able to return this as an heirloom might go towards that, or should we keep it for ourselves? Should we try to test it and see what
we
happens?
should
We can-
see what it does first.
We can
should
hold on to it
okay.
until we see her, at least.
Also, if this was some kind of secret life her mother led, she might not recognize that at all.
Fair.
Yes.
But we can hold on to it for now.
If it wasn't
I mean-
magical, I'd say we should give it back. If it was just like the money aspect of like it being a jewel, and you know it, but I feel like the magical, like having been the one who suggested not taking clothes off of clotheslines, I still think like we would be better served by the magical effects of it.
The voice
Okay.
in your head concurs with your reasoning.
Which might be a bad thing. I don't know.
I don't know.
Hard to
Okay,
say.
I'll go ahead and fix it to whatever like crimson and gold cloak I have, and
If you'd like, lad, I can stare at that for a wee bit longer and may be able to parse out what type of magics it has on it. Would you like me to give
that
you
would be
a go?
wonderful, Finnan.
Excellent. I'll do just that. What do you want to do with the remaining items inside there?
I'll examine the rings.
Okay, there are two.
okay.
One is made of sort of like rose gold, and it's a signet ring. And it has on it sort of like the flat metal part of the signet ring is literally a signet with a briar on it. So one could
Okay.
use this to leaves one's mark in a soft thing like wax or what have you. It's a signet ring.
Okay.
It's dimly magical, so that might do stuff, but not overwhelmingly so. And then there is another ring. This ring is platinum with braided, like intertwined braided platinum band that's reasonably thick, and a small rectangular blue gem set into it. It looks like maybe a sapphire.
Okay.
That's also magical, lad, and fairly so, Finnan will say.
So we can give
Okay.
back the signet ring, and then
I think that would be, yeah.
we could try on the other ring.
Or
I
hold
guess
on
I'm
to it
still counting.
in case we still
We don't.
in case
we
we
don't
still
know
need
what the secret
to.
ring does.
I'll offer the blue gem ring to Rhiannon. Do you want to try it on, Rhiannon?
I mean, so here's my logic here. This is pretty clearly like the cache of somebody who's going out doing sort of like vigilante type work. So it's not
Yes.
going to have cursed stuff in it.
No.
I agree.
And so the worst is that it won't be the kind of magic that I can use or something, or like it will be something that like you can talk to goldfish. There are no goldfish here now. We don't know what it does. So I'm not seeing that there's a harmful side to trying it on.
Okay.
Tell me if okay.
There
Yeah,
is
I
the
just thought
voice-
perhaps.
the voice in your head will say, if you place that on you and it attempts to do you some ill, I may be able to protect you.
Plus, I
It
think
just-
I might have a little bit of like resistance to sort of weird magical stuff because of like my magic.
Hmm.
So not 100% guaranteed, but hey. Anyway, trying it on.
Anyway, try it on. It's a lady's ring, although it could be worn by either a lady or a gentleman. What finger?
Well, I mean, whichever fits. I'm not going to immediately go to the ring finger, but
Okay, so you'll probably start with this finger, right?
Yeah.
The pointer finger.
forefinger.
And when you begin to slide it over there, it immediately resizes itself. That's a creepy feeling. You're giggling when that happens, or
I mean, no. I'm probably like go quiet and like focus on it
Mhm.
and sort of like just kind of like get all my attention on it because creepy, yes, but like also kind of interesting.
Yeah,
So
it's almost like it's alive
focus.
because of the way it twitches on your finger before it settles into a particular fit. You get the impression that any finger you put it on, it would fit perfectly. Do you want to try and take it off?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
'Cause that's sort of the next
Slides right off your finger.
See? No harm, no foul.
Yeah.
This is the voice in your head. Good. You have to learn to trust your instincts. Okay. So, other stuff.
There is a pair of boots that I was curious about.
Okay. You're examining the boots. They are finely constructed, hard leather. Again, this crimson, dark crimson red shade. They look extremely well made. And, I mean, again, maybe ladies' boots, but they could be worn by ladies or gentlemen.
Or they might resize.
Or they might.
They might.
I mean, I think we should probably spread stuff around. So, like,
Yeah,
I'll go back to
absolutely.
counting coins here. Like, I got
I
the ring. That's cool.
I have a theory about given the themes I'm seeing with this stuff. I have a theory about what the boots do.
Could be bunnies.
Yes.
Sorry.
Like
Must
I
be
will
bunnies.
must be bunnies. Here. I will hand Eric the mask
Okay.
for now. I'm
I like
For
that.
now.
I like the caveat.
Unless I like the mask better than the boots.
Well, she already got the stiletto, didn't she? So
I did. That's true.
I'm listening, but I'll be right back.
Yep.
I turn
wanna at least-
aside and start looking around in the room.
If you
Okay.
watch the door.
Yeah.
The room
I'm gonna.
extremely quiet, Eric.
did you put on
Oh.
the mask?
I don't know. Did I?
You didn't tell me you did.
He only needs a second when none of us are watching.
Yeah, that's true.
right?
You gotta tell me.
I will at least try on the boots.
All right. You will try on the boots. As you're pulling on the boots, you will notice that they are a perfect fit. Now, whether that's because something happened as you were putting them on, or because they were just meant to be, it's hard to say. You think that they looked a little bit bigger than they were right before you pulled them on, but now they're a perfect fit. They're pretty comfortable, too.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna test these. I'm gonna try to sneak around. I'm gonna try to move very quietly.
Could you roll a 20
Sturge.
for me?
When did
Or
you
try
get
running
here,
up the
Amara?
walls. Try jumping.
That's a 9.
Okay. You're reasonably quiet just because you're trying to be reasonably quiet. So you're not really sure whether or not the boots are necessarily helping with that.
Should really stomp around loudly and see what the boots do.
Although you will notice that it's almost like you have this innate tension in your calves. You feel like your lower legs are more powerful than they normally would be.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
It is bunnies.
Okay, I know what these. I know. As I'm feeling that, I'm like, I'm gonna like bounce a little bit, and then I'm gonna like.
Yes.
I'm gonna try to like
yes.
take kind of like a running, like not jump high, but like I'm gonna do like try to do a long jump across one of the.
All right, so you're working on that. Who else has got any items remaining from the stash of things? We did. Brooch pin is on. Randy, yes.
Shadow.
Potion
I think we.
thing. No one's really played with.
Shadowbane has a set of
All right.
those, doesn't he?
I will. Yeah, he does. I will pick up the
Well,
the
then Eric
potion
can
belt.
please.
You'll pick up the potion belt, Eric. Okay, so I'll get back to that with you in just a second.
And the signet ring has gone begging, which I think if we're going to give something back, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Because that seems like it belongs in the family.
So where is it now? Who is hanging on to it?
Well, Randy took it out.
I think Randy has it.
But I would suggest that we put it in the pouch with the coin when I finish counting and load it back up. So that's our like sort of we're carrying this and keeping it safe pouch.
We also haven't looked at the cloak yet.
That's correct.
No, we haven't looked at the cloak yet.
I'm getting there. Give me a moment.
Okay.
So the rings, I know where those now are. There were gems, which no one has taken out of there yet, but I'm assuming Randy will do that when he gets back. There are the boots, which Allie is presently wearing. There's the mask, which Eric presently has. There's the stiletto, which is presently in Allie's care. And there is this cloak.
I like the cloak because it goes with my outfit.
I like
But I have
the
the
cloak 'cause it goes with my
brooch.
outfit.
So and I have a cloak brooch. I guess it could use it, but if they do separate things, I basically just want to make sure that things go to whoever it would be most advantageous for. So
I thought you were about to dramatically whip the cloak around
It's
you.
like
I would,
kind of
I would dramatically whip the cloak around me and then give a flourish.
let's-
Okay.
Joel needs something, right?
yeah, Joel needs something.
So
I was kind of the mind the mask should float to whoever and just we need to be to yeah.
We need to impersonate a dwarf. It comes to me. If it's elf, to you.
all right, so Randy, you will swirl. It is a hooded cloak. Okay, again made of the finest wool, crimson wool, lined in silk, and you will swirl it around your shoulders, and it'll settle on you.
Yes.
I assume people are watching this occur.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm jumping around.
There's a shimmer in the air when it lands around your shoulders. And suddenly, from everyone's perspective but Randy sort of hops to about 2 feet off from his right.
Okay.
Randy, you're standing in the same spot you were a moment ago. There's just that shimmering in the air.
I'll
Did
say, do
you
I look any
move?
different other than
Did you-
fabulous?
Did you just move, or did it look like you moved?
No, I didn't move.
Okay,
It looked like I
so
moved.
It looks
Finnan
like-
will say, "Aye, lad, it did. You shimmered
I'll
off
point
to
to
the
it.
right."
yeah.
Displacer cloak. I'll whip it off and I'll.
When you
I'll
do
have
that, again, you'll get that the thing will come off, and he'll appear as though he's about 2 feet off to his left. That, Finnan will say, seems like a cloak made from displacer hide. somehow woven in to the wool. That's a cloak of displacement, lad. Those are also quite rare.
I think this should go to perhaps one of the fighters who would, or it could go to Rhiannon to help. I don't know what the ring does, but this might help. If you were to be a target of thieves. But I think
Talking to fish, clearly.
Yeah. But maybe what Joel or Elric. If you're going to be frontline fighting, like harder to hit.
Yeah, that's true.
Do we have a technical problem? Oh, technical
Yeah, we
advisor?
should.
A moment. Okay. All right. So as I was saying a second ago, a cloak, probably a cloak of displacement. Those are quite rare. And that leaves the potion belt that Eric was inspecting. Eric. Okay.
Yep.
This is again, crimson leather. Potion belt meant to be worn around the waist. It has a total of 6 crystal vials, pretty decorative crystal vials, with gold filigree and stopper. Why am I... All right, so
well met. Here we are. Let's go.
as mentioned, okay, so you were you were looking at the equipment, and I think, as I said last, Eric was checking the potions.
Yep.
So, delicate crystal vials, stoppered with gold leaf. They have sigils upon them, carved, sort of chiseled like crystal into the vials themselves. The first 3 vials contain the same sigil, and then the next 3 are different sigils. The first 3 vials have a pinkish liquid, the 4th a blood red liquid, the 5th a pale blue liquid, and the last one a golden toned liquid. They have some particulate matter suspended in them that makes them a little glinty.
All right. So do they have runes marking them or other instructions or
Sigils
labels?
chiseled upon
Sigils,
the crystal.
And this might be something to show to Affen?
Are we talking?
Ruskettle?
Oh, are we talking about?
Finnan?
Are we talking about Finnan with a
Finnan?
with a PH?
Finnan.
The H is
Finnan.
silent.
I'm sorry. Oh, is that how? Okay.
Yes, that's how.
Finnan.
It goes.
And
It might
I
be
also
something
have
Finnan.
15%
show to
chance of
Finnan.
reading languages if Finnan's not around.
Okay.
All right. I will show these. First of all, I'll show the pink ones to Finnan and to Randy.
All right, Randy, why don't you roll percentile dice for me?
Okay.
Because you'll point out, I've got a chance of deciphering this, and Finnan will say, let's see what you come up with.
84.
All right, so no, you see these 3 are the same, though, right, lad?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, very interesting.
What it's important to know here is that this is Elvish, and these are Elvish symbols. The first 3 are symbols of healing, so I'm going to guess that the liquid within them, especially since it's a similar color and it's radiating necromantic magic, are potions that will allow you to restore some vigor to yourself when wounded. This 4th one, do you want to give it a try? Think Elvish, Randonius.
Oh, okay. Speak, Ellen, and friend, and enter. Okay. 29.
A little bit. You're getting a maybe like heart. Is that supposed to be a heart? And he will say that's pretty close. This literally says heart's blood, and it contains necromantic and alteration magics. I'm not sure exactly what that is.
Potion of
That was
heroism,
the
maybe?
blood red one, obviously. I'm guessing.
What is that? He'll say to you.
That is it's something that makes you better in combat. I don't remember the specifics, but
Possibly. I mean, possibly. It could also be
also be
some
a poison.
version. Could be also some version of healing. It could be a magical poison. That's possible. How about this
Is
next
it
one?
heart's blood, like the blood of multiple hearts, or the blood of a single heart?
It is the blood
Ooh.
actually of a single heart of an
So it's-
animal as opposed to a person.
So it's possessive hearts.
Yes,
And hearts like the body part, not like the deer.
that is correct. Although it could conceivably
Okay.
be both.
Oh.
That's a weird coincidence
Could be
between
a
languages.
play. Could be a play on words.
Okay.
All right. So
Are the Elvish words for deer or heart similar to the person heart?
not really, but again, this could be someone who speaks Elvish without being Elven.
And if this is an animal heart, it could be a deer heart.
That it could be.
Somebody could be playing an interesting prank. Anyway, all right. Linguistic
drink it-
pranks. Ah.
Sometimes,
I'll say yes. If you drink this, I think you'll start singing Barracuda. So
Okay.
so now we're looking at the pale blue one. Is that
Pale
the-
blue.
Bard
That's
of
correct.
puns.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
20 again. 26 this time. That's
You can't quite make this one out, Randy.
okay.
You know that you're detecting that the stuff it's pale blue, vaguely luminescent, and it's oily from the way that it moves around the inside of the container.
Yeah, I kind of get this one, Finnan, but why don't you go ahead and tell them? I think.
This one's a little interesting. It's illusion, like a glamour, but also like glass. So perhaps a glamour that allows something to be seen through like glass.
Ooh.
So invisibility,
It could conceivably be that, yes.
maybe.
If that's true, you should be able to just sip at it and still be able to obtain some measure of its power. A typical potion that allows a person to become invisible usually either lasts for a full day from the moment that you consume it all, or if you split it up into draughts of approximately 8 apiece, lasts for about an hour per.
Does Allie, do your ears peer coming out invisible?
I mean, certainly. Although I'm wondering how my attempt at a long jump went.
Oh yes, I'll get back to
Oh.
you. Don't worry.
Okay.
You still haven't
then what-
landed.
I
What color was the last potion?
We haven't mastered
Solid.
simultaneous activity. So I have
Still
to
in
get
Jumped
midair.
up, hit your head. You're only
Yeah.
now regaining consciousness.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah.
Hey, I specifically jumped forward,
You
not
did.
up.
Long
Thank you
jump
very
with a
much.
very smart,
Jump
very smart.
forward, hit your head. Now you're only
Ended up-
okay.
Splayed
So-
out like the coyote.
Yeah. So the next one, go ahead, Randy. Give it a shot.
What color was the last one?
It is like a
Gold.
golden color.
A golden. Okay. 56.
You're getting nothing off of this one. But it's viscous. For what it's worth, the liquid inside is viscous. He'll say.
I'm getting a sense of like maybe this maybe increases your ability to barter. Maybe I don't know what is.
Oh, that's an interesting idea based upon gold, but I'm pretty sure that that's a rune that's trying to tell us moving swiftly through the air like wind. So
Oh right. Yes.
that's probably either flight or something that allows you to turn into gas.
Yeah.
It's alteration.
I
magic, so it
misinterpret.
could be-
Merchants speak with a lot of hot air, so that's why I mistranslated it.
He'll
Obviously.
He'll laugh and clap
well
you on the
done,
back
sir.
at that one. So
Well,
one can often taste these things to also gain some insight into what they might do, but I wouldn't recommend just sipping them. We could probably also take them to a wizard, or we could take our time and use our own magics to try to deduce what they are. So, Allie, meanwhile, you've leapt quite successfully for someone who is not supposed to be able to leap like 15 feet forward. You're pretty sure that it had something to do with these boots.
yeah, I'm pretty sure I know what these boots are now. So yeah,
Boots are made for jumping, and that's just what
Blah.
they'll do.
Finnan will say that was a very impressive leap, lass.
I think it was the boots.
I
Got
think
a
you
pretty-
might be right. I wonder if you could make that same leap vertically.
I'll
check the ceiling.
Okay. I will. Well, what I'll try to do is I'll try to leap up and touch the ceiling.
So please roll a 20-sided die for me.
All right. Move my glass out of the way. Nat 1.
All right. That's about as good as you can do it, because this is a dexterity check. So you will crouch down, put your energy into jumping straight up, and you'll just literally touch the ceiling, and then come down with gymnast grace. Yes, those are definitely boots that allow you to leap and stride about. If I'm not mistaken, they may also allow you to move over land for a longer period of time without tiring.
Ooh. And hopefully the last leap will be the leap home.
He doesn't
Thanks,
laugh at that.
Randonius.
I did. But it is very topical.
That'll get a
It is very
look.
topical.
Yes.
So we've looked at the brooch/pin. We've looked at the potions. We've looked at the rings. We've looked at the cloak, the mask, and the stiletto. There are coins. Rhiannon, you have separated them into 3 piles. Platinum, gold, and silver. There are 20 gold, 20 silver, and 10 platinum coins. You've also been able to deduce that these coins were all minted in the same kingdom. They contain the image of a king, a youthful king, and some indication that they were minted in the year 1347, Dale Reckoning.
I mean, I don't know what that means, but
You could ask Finnan.
I'm going to be a little more sort of low key than just being like, what does this mean? I think I will take one and ask him. Being not from around here, I don't recognize which kingdom this is from. Can you?
He'll take a coin from you. He'll flip it over and he'll say, if you look at the back, I think this is meant to be a purple dragon. This is a Cormyrian coin. And if I'm not mistaken, that's a rather youthful-looking Azun IV.
That would line up with the year.
Yeah, it would.
So whoever
Why
put
would
this
someone
coin
have-
here, then,
Yeah. Why would someone have Cormyrian coins in Westgate is the question. I mean,
Well,
all
realms-
coin spends.
Aren't realm currencies more or less interchangeable? Because
Yeah, I
they're
was gonna say, would that
it-
be weird?
coins minted in one place versus coins minted in another have a lot of different values. I will say this about Cormyrian coin. It's certainly of that era. It's very widely respected as being true metal. So it's not likely to be altered.
Is this the era that we believe the person whose possessions these are was from? Like, was this a contemporary era to when they would have been operating?
that would be 25 years ago.
So probably.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
big-
clearly
Possibly a
it's-
Cormyrian agent in Westgate?
If it's
Well,
or,
that's what I was wondering if there was
or
something
Rob the
political to
Cormyrian agent.
consider. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Since they're all minted in the same year, do they all seem about the same level of quality?
They do.
Like
They
they're
do.
all potentially new?
They do. Almost like a wealthy individual was able to secure a freshly minted coin and tuck it away into a purse all at about the same time.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
That's why
Is
that's
that-
why I think that's relevant.
this was a cash.
It's a cash
We-
cash.
We could spend
then
them
we're gonna
individually
go
and people would be
spend it.
fine, but if we brought them all as a whole, people might have questions.
That is
Well,
true.
hopefully we're
Maybe-
not going to be investing in anything that expensive. So that
I
like,
mean,
we could just
unless
pay with
Joel
one.
wants a suit of full plate armor.
Sorry, Joel.
That
I
is
mean, look.
real expensive.
Like I
your
said,
count-
I'm not
says
sure this
no.
will cover that.
I want.
No, it will not.
So let's talk about those gems before we break for the evening, shall we?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. There are 9 of them, of 3 different types here.
Okay.
5 of the gems are smooth, oval, dark green, flecked with blood red, and they're about the size of 20-sided die.
Okay.
Okay.
3 of the gems are a sparkling, faceted orange gem, one of which is sparkling with an inner fire.
Ooh.
And the last one is a crystal. If you've ever been to a crystal store and seen crystals that are like in the forms of like pillars, it is like that, about 5 inches in length, fits in a hand, neatly in a hand, and it is jet black.
Oh, okay.
That's ominous.
Does anyone here know anything about gems and their abilities? Finnan will say.
I mean, so I know rocks that you can like do for flit napping. So
Oh no, I mean magical abilities, lass.
Oh, okay.
Because you see that one, he's pointing to the black one, and that one, he's pointing to the one that glows with an inner fire. Those have been enchanted.
Oh.
Is it obsidian? Because that
Yeah.
also that's weird. But okay,
No, that's a Ravenar. Are you familiar with what a Ravenar is?
no.
If I
I don't-
don't miss... Yes, you do, Randonius?
Oh no, I was gonna say I don't know why this black gem is screaming Amara to me.
If
She
I,
I mean,
has
it
some
looks
aesthetic.
cool.
Please tell us about the Revenar.
Yeah,
I
please.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Sorry.
if I don't miss my guess, and there's no guarantee that I'm right, but I know a little bit about my gem lore. If that's an enchanted Ravenar, if you pass any kind of magic through it, it will dissolve and spit forth 3 bolts of lightning in the directions of your choice.
Oh.
Well-
More of a Rhiannon thing, potentially. Not,
Yeah,
not
that's-
to equate you with Artemisia, but just in terms of sorcerer, you know.
Yeah. Well,
You're the one
I
who's
mean,
going to be throwing
that's-
spells most often.
yeah. Me and Randy, because Randy, you can do magic as well. I was just thinking,
That's true.
I'm happy to take it, but we might consider my fire spell thing is offensive,
Mm.
and Randy, the spell you were doing before was sort of like a shield type spell, so maybe we should have something that like converts that into an offensive spell.
Interesting.
Of course, you might also
Okay.
consider spending it, given that it's worth about 1,000 gold crowns.
You can't
That's
buy
fair.
you can't buy saving your life in a dangerous situation.
Yeah, we
It's
okay, so
priceless.
we
Well
can
said,
we can
Randy.
sell it if we
Unless
will
you want to
too.
buy a suit of full plate mail.
Yeah, like
The-
weapons
Elric
to
really
defend
wants the full
ourselves
plate.
for.
Yeah.
well, not
True,
necessarily, but look at me and try not to laugh, please.
the chainmail
Anyway.
miniskirt.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, here, Eric, and I'll hand out the cloak. Perhaps this will enhance your charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and
like,
talent.
all I
So
really
how-
want is a rapier. I don't think that'll be too much.
So how about the other enchanted gem? Any idea what that'll do, Finnan?
Yes, if I'm not mistaken, that's an octel. And it gives me a guess about what that ring you're wearing does, lass.
Oh,
Do me a
Yeah.
favor.
Mhm.
One of the ones that's not glowing with the inner fire, if you'd kindly touch it to the gem on your ring. Okay. When you do that, you'll feel a little surge of magic leap through the ring on your finger. It'll tighten for a second, right? It does that little spasmodic thing. And then a little bloom of internal fire will take place inside the gem itself. That's been prepared.
Oh.
Probably all 3 of those have been prepared. And the ring you're wearing is designed to allow you not to be ensnared. It allows you to swim underwater unalloyed, allows you to avoid certain spells and things like webs that would otherwise slow you down. Touching one of those to a prepared octel will create a gem that, when you're wearing it, will, for one encounter, also free you from such things, consuming the gem in the process. The octels are only worth about 100 gold crowns. Oh, and it also gives you about a couple foot, or what would he say, 2 strides or so light in complete darkness.
That's a versatile ring. Yeah.
so it seems like we should like prep. Well, there's only 3 of them, but like prep all 3 and hand them round.
That
And
seems
then-
wise.
Hmm.
When you need it, then you'll have it.
That's fair.
So if you don't mind my asking, just an old man's curiosity, what do you mean to do with this windfall?
Is it to
Put it to the good of Westgate, no doubt.
Yeah.
So, yes.
If
but
that
Well,
that involves
okay, so-
returning some of it to Thistle Thalavar, then yes, we will do that as well.
So I
Or-
think we were talking about returning the signet ring. Sorry, go ahead, Jill.
I was just going to say, since we did find it in Jamal's house, should we maybe talk to her about this?
Finnan will do this.
Like, hey, look what we found in the basement.
Did Jamal not come with us? Because I
She-
thought that
No,
she
She
did.
went back
upstairs.
outside.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
she
of
went
her
back up. Okay.
So I think that our intent, even before we found this stash, was in the course of finding our own path through this world, aid Jamal in her quest to to raise up Thistle potentially as a better leader of Westgate. And so anything that helps us will help us help Jamal by extension, as it will help us on our way towards our path home. I think that would be
Jamal,
my
we
argument.
found some stuff. We found some stuff that'll make us good, cheap heroes.
I like
That's
where your,
exactly.
I like where
I
your
mean,
heart is at,
kinda.
Randy. I like where your heart is at, he'll say.
Oh, thank you.
But
You're
uh,
welcome.
Should we do
now that
something
that's
about
done,
that?
should
Like,
we, yeah, should we maybe check the door?
The door.
Yes, all this time, that door has remained ajar.
Oh, one quick thing though, the brooch. I think we've never identified what the brooch
Oh,
actually
yes.
does, or are we saving that?
The
Okay.
brooch, the magic on the brooch itself, the platinum brooch, is a combination of enchantment magic and abjuration magic, something I think probably has a defensive effect. The brooch, or the magic on the ruby, which if you were to pry it free would probably be worth up to 5,000 gold crowns, is healing or necromantic magic of some kind or another. I don't think that they were designed together. I think that they were fused together. Almost as if
So-
someone had the brooch and paid to have it enchanted with a further capability.
So something
Well,
very defensive sounds like.
Really need some healing.
Yeah.
Just saying. I mean, if it's single use, then that's one thing. But like,
Hmm.
if
Is
it
it-
can
did-
heal,
Yeah.
I mean,
In your experience, Finnan, would this be something that would only heal the wearer of the brooch, or could it be utilized by the wearer of the brooch to heal others, do you think?
There are a lot of potential options, Randonius. I know of a wizard in Waterdeep who makes gems that heal individuals and reset every day at the same time that they're used. However, they work on the bearer when the bearer is injured.
so
we
we just
discern
gotta
what
like
this-
pin it to
I-
people.
Yeah, I
Sure.
feel again like maybe this would be best worn by one of the people standing in the front line. But
Well, how you decide to divvy up
Yeah.
this loot now that you know what it is it a question that we will answer in our next session, regardless of whether or not that session is weeks away or mere moments, depending upon the perspective of the players or the watcher. So on
and
that
what
note,
lies behind
fluid.
door number 2?
Eric, back over to you.
Time is fluid in this place. I'm sure we will see you again soon. But until then, I've been Eric Scott to be. Thank you for watching the show. I am trying to get back home, as are some of my other compatriots, and tune in next time for the further quest of us trying to do that. Take it away, Allie.
Hello, everybody. I am Alexander Pitchford, and I am not trying to get back home.
No.
But yeah, I am a writer, game designer, and TTRPG streamer. You can generally find me on Twitter at LexiPhoenix. And yeah, that's about it for me.
I've been
Sorry. Sorry.
I've been Rhiannon Held. The cat is Ember. I don't know if she's clipped off, but you might see a cat, but that's Ember over there. And I write urban fantasy is Rhiannon Held. Check out my several Silver series. Space opera is RZ Held. Check out the Amsterdam Institute series, which starts with Clean Install. And tonight Thank you to our moderators, the ones who are here, and also whichever ones are in the chat, since I don't know which there will be. So thank you to all of them. Now, Randy.
Okay, sorry about that. Hi, Randy Henderson, author of the Fin Fantasy series and playing Randonius, and thank you all for watching. Check out our Discord. Great community over there.
Kidding.
And I'm Jordan, and thank you everybody for watching, and we'll see you next time.